Always interesting to see how these captains handle it as they try and come in the inlet, but if you look way off in the distance, you'll see a few white caps out there in the background, and that means gonna be a little bit of a rough day. But welcome back, crew, to Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at beautiful Haulover Inlet here in Miami, and let's go ahead and see how our captains fare as they step in the ring and try and do battle with the inlet. And this is going to bring us over to the first round of our contest. Here in the first round, the boats are going to toss an Axopar in the ring to see if they can go ahead and get off to a fast start and take an early victory here in the first round. Let's go. The Axopar is making its way toward the mouth of the inlet. They've got the boat barely up on plane, wind up coming over the top of that wave. They've got a shallow entry with this boat, so they got to be careful in these following seas. Right now, they look pretty good, and I think they're going to wind up making it. Oh, no! Right at the end, they wind up stuffing it. They looked great all the way up until that last second. They wind up catching up with a large wake that was in front of them, and that bow just drops, and they wind up stuffing it and getting the entire crew absolutely soaked on this one. And that means this group's going to wind up taking a loss for the boats here in the first round. That's going to move us to the second round of our contest. Haulover takes the early 1-0 edge. Here in the second round, though, the boats are going to toss a Mako in the ring to see if they can go ahead and get back on the board. And let's go. As you can tell, a little bit of a rough start. Our crew is in a smaller vessel, and it is absolutely churned up right here in the inlet at the moment. But Cap's taking his time, picking his path, doing what he's got to do to make sure that bow doesn't dig down, and sometimes taking it easy is the best method. He's got it barely up on plane, just enough to let the boat do the work, and this crew's going to easily make it out and wind up taking a win for the boat surprisingly there in the second round. And that will move us into the third round. We are now tied at 1 apiece. And here in the third round, the boats are going to toss a Yamaha jet boat in the ring, and they almost stuff it on the first wave, and man, they stuffed it on the second. Unbelievable. They don't get off to a very fast start. Cap's not really got enough behind the throttle to get this one going the way he needs to. And this particular model of Yamaha jet boat sits a little lower in the bow. You've really got to play with those throttles to try and get this thing to get that bow up into the air. But this crew doesn't do it. It takes another wave right over the bow, another shot to the gut. And unfortunately, this crew is going to wind up taking a loss in the third round. And that's going to move us to the fourth round of our contest. Haulover now has the 2-1 edge. The boats have to come back in this round or it will be all over early. And here in the fourth round, the boats are going to toss a Carolina skiff in the ring to see if they can hold out. Now, this boat does not have a lot of freeboard. It's going to take some finesse by the captain to get this thing out without stuffing the bow. So again, they are taking it easy. He's trying to pick his line, looking for the right lane to be able to keep this thing dry. And right now, they look pretty good as they make it out the mouth of the inlet and start to head into the bigger rollers that are just a little offshore. But overall, this is a pretty impressive performance. Cap's taking it easy, doing what he's got to do to keep his crew safe and dry in this situation. And overall, they look exceptionally solid. Cap's not doing anything crazy, just making sure he has the right line. And I gotta imagine, as of now, it looks like this crew, surprisingly, even in a boat with this low of freeboard, they're gonna wind up taking a win with all these whitecaps out there in the fourth round, and that's gonna bring the boats back into the contest. We are now tied at 2 apiece as we move into the fifth and final round, and here in the fifth round, the boats are gonna toss a Carrera in the ring to try and close it out. And here we go, our crew's working their way in. Cap's got the throttle opened up, hugging the north side of the inlet, which is typically the correct path, and man, our girl in the bow is taking an absolute pounding. A little air, she gets smacked down hard, the triple smack, and man, our girl is going to remember that one for some time to come. Here we'll see in the replay, she goes down hard once, the second hit really gets her good, and the third one finishes the job, and you might even call this a quad smack here as she gets a little bump at the end, but unfortunately for that one, this crew's going to wind up taking a loss, and Haulover will take the win. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlet. My channel, Broncos Guru, some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.